What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with a full Morelull Evolution team. We've got Morelull and Shiinotic. Man, these are really quite forgettable Pokemon in my opinion. I like them, they're pretty cool, but I feel like they're Pokemon that people don't really remember. So we've got the ability Effect Spore and Rain Dish. Oh, they also have Illuminate as well, but since that doesn't have any effect in the actual battle, I didn't actually include it. I'll be using 2 Shiinotic and 2 Morelull on this team. I've got 2 battles. This was a fairly difficult team because they're not fast Pokemon, they're definitely not heavy hitters, and they've got a massive weakness there to obviously poison. Alright, first battle here, this one is against Peepsalot, and this is actually a pretty cool team as well. I wonder if you can guess what it is. So first Pokemon is Gourgeist, and it's called Smell My Feet. Okay, I'm not sure why it's called that. So we got a physical Shiinotic here. I got Seed Bomb, Facade, Drain Punch, and Giga Impact. I got max attack and max health. This is very, very barren on the physical side, the Shiinotic, and yeah, it's virtually nearly all the moves you can teach. I think it's got only like a couple more. I think it has Astonish as one of the other moves too. So unfortunately for me, I'm already walled here. I didn't really want to swap out anyway, and I'm going to get burned by Gourgeist. So this Shiinotic is going to do hardly any damage at all. I've got the ability Effect Spore. Funny enough, I actually just did an Effect Spore ability team, and I got Choice Band. So I just tried to get as much damage as possible against Gourgeist. Not that I was doing like a lot of damage, and I didn't really want my other Pokemon getting burned either. So this was a Dark Pulse Gourgeist here, and I guess that was just dying to like flinch me and stuff like that, and add that typing. So I just did as much damage to Seed Bomb here. Obviously, I'm doing nothing. I'm like, well, I'll try and get like a quarter damage there. But this was a tough team. If you really like Shiinotic or Morelull, let me know in the comment section. Is there anyone's truly favorite Pokemon? I'd really, really like to know. Like, if it is, like, is there a person out there that's like, yep, you know, my favorite Pokemon is Shiinotic or Morelull. Wow, I wonder if there's a person out there that exists. There probably is. I quite like Shiinotic. I think it's quite a cool looking Pokemon, and don't mind it shiny too. It looks like a sort of like a poisonous mushroom, you know. Next Pokemon is going to be Morelull. Now this is a bulky, also an Effect Spore set. I've got Moonblast, Energy Ball, Strength Sap, and Ingrain. Max Health, Max Special Attack. I'm going to get hit by another Trick or Treat, adding that typing onto the Morelull, Ghost typing. And now I'm going to go for Moonblast. So Moonblast is doing pretty good damage there against the Gourgeist. Now this isn't a real, I mean, it is quite a bulky set, but it's not full on like based around bulk. I do have special attack EV, so I had to make one that did have Moonblast, because with the Shiinotic set, I tried to do a different ability to Effect Spore. So I like to use all the different abilities the line gets, like, like the Effect Spore and Rain Dish. Next Pokemon is going to be Lantern, and it's called You're Wet. That's sus. All right, very sus. Who's wet out there? Anyway, so we're going to Lantern go for a soak here, and it's going to turn my Morelull into a water type. So I've got Energy Ball, which is good, and it does pretty good damage to Lantern. The good thing about it, I actually got a special defense drop here, so my next attack is going to do a lot of damage. It could possibly even take it out, depending on whether that was a max or minimum damage roll for. Now Lantern obviously is going to go for electric type move here, so it's going to be super effective, and that is going to be Discharge. Discharge is annoying because it can have like a 30% to paralyze you too. So Lantern is just going to live there. Unfortunately, I had a feeling he was just going to live, and now Morelull, well, it's sort of facing down a Discharge here. So who comes from Lantern? I don't know if this Lantern is max special attack. I'm definitely thinking it might be, because this is fairly bulky Everlight set, and that's going to be enough to take out the Morelull. Lantern also has leftover soup, but that's fine. It's only got a little bit of health, so I can, swap in my Morelull number 2 here. Actually, Morelull's got quite a nice shiny on Morelull and Shiinotic. Both of them got good shinies. So this is a Strength Sap, Leech Seed, Growth, and Draining Kiss set. This is Everlight, and of course it's Effect Spore as well. Effect Spore I tended to run on these. I was going to run Toxic on them, but then I'm looking at its ability. I'm like, yeah, I could run Rain Dish, but then I'd have to run Rain Dance. Yeah, I'd rather just run, I'd rather just run Effect Spore and not give it Toxic, because it still might work. These Pokemon, like with Strength Sap and Leech Seed, they do have a lot of survivability, and it's actually, this set's actually got, insanely bulky. So we're going to hit by the Discharge there, and I'm going to get paralyzed, but that tanked it very, very well considering. The good thing about this with Strength Tap and Leech Seed, it takes a long while to actually, it has a lot of sustain and a long time to actually faint. Unless you come in with, like, say, a Poison-type Pokemon. Something like that would be very, very bad. I've got Growth on there because that's going to boost the, obviously, the power of Draining Kiss, and, that's also another healing move at the same time there as well. Lantern's going to go for another Discharge here, but at this point here, I can pretty much just beat Lantern with Strength Sap and Leech Seed. I don't really even have to attack, which is kind of nice here. I actually quite like Morelull. Now, I have to ask this, if someone out there knows a lot about food, or maybe works in a restaurant or something like that. I had these mushrooms, right? And they actually looked like Morelull, except obviously not the base part. They had like the smaller head, but the stem was really long and skinny, Like, I don't know what sort of mushrooms are, but they were really, really good, I like mushrooms. It's one of my favorite things to have with eggs and stuff in the morning. Breakfast of champions, that sort of thing. Anyway, so yeah, I wonder what that sort of, those mushrooms are. They're really nice. Maybe it was the way they'll cook. So next Pokemon is going to be Trevenant, and we've got another type adding move. So maybe you might be able to see what's going on here. With this Trevenant, it's actually quite a good Pokemon for this team as well. So I can't really do much to it outside of Draining Kiss. It's like, okay, let's go for Growth. I wonder what I can do here. Now Trevenant is going to go for a Skitter Smack, and that's going to hit him very, very hard for super effective damage there. And that was a critical hit on top of that too, so not very good. And it also dropped my special attack too. So poor Morelull is completely and utterly countered. There's absolutely nothing that it can even do. So anyway, here comes the second Skitter Smack, and that is the end of the Morelull. It's funny, right, with mushrooms. Not while we're on the topic of mushrooms. I used to hate mushrooms when I was younger. Like, when I was about 15, 16, 17 around there, I really didn't like them at all. Like, I thought they were disgusting. And then later on in my 20s, obviously my taste buds changed, and for some reason or the other, I actually, I don't know, I tried them and I really liked them. I'm like, that's kind of strange. Has that ever happened to you before? Anyway, so next Pokemon, or last Pokemon, is going to be Shiinotic. This is a Rain Dish set. And I've got Damprock and Rain Dish. This actually isn't a bad ability of Rain Dance, because at least you can power down Fire-type moves and stuff like that. I've got Rain Dance, Giga Drain, Spore, and Dream Eater. Yes, I did notice it was Spore and Dream Eater on the same set, and I noticed that might be able to use the Effect Spore ability on the other three Pokemon and, maybe get some massive suck back there. You could also go Max Mindstorm with Dream Eater as well, and it's going to be good for like poison type Pokemon that come in. You can at least you got some sort of psychic type move to use. You got a chance. So anyway, we got a big old Shiinotic out. I'm trying to take out this Trevenant. It's very, very bulky. And Shiinotic special attack really isn't the greatest in the world. This one is max health and max special attack with Modest Nature. Looking back, I normally like to run a Choice Spec set, because at least then Moonblast Choice Specs does hit reasonably hard. But after I made the Choice Span one, I was like, what can I do with Rain Dish? I kind of need it on a Pokemon that can set up Damprock. I don't really want to do it on Morelull, because then I'm going to have to give up both the Everlight. So that's how I went with this team. So anyway, we're going to finally take out this Trevenant with another Max Mindstorm, and that is the end of that Pokemon. So we've got one more left there, and totally necessary crit there at the end. So yeah, when I seen the Poison type Pokemon team when I was using this, I was like, nah, I really can't do much of it. Unless I just, put in Shiinotic straight away, got rid of the Poison type Pokemon, that would be the only way. Last Pokemon is going to be Hatterene. So I was like, okay, well, I've got Giga Drain here. I've got Rain Dance. I can't really use Spore here, so that's not bad. I could get the Rain Dance going to get that extra health recovery, and then I could go for Giga Drain too. Now, the cool thing here, I actually outsped the Hatterene. Not that it really takes too much. Hatterene isn't a very fast Pokemon, and it's going to go for Magic Powder. Now, Powder moves actually don't work on Grass types. So that would have changed me into the Psychic type, right? So that's what they were going for there. Unfortunately, it's not going to work because it's a Powder type move, which is a little bit unfortunate there. Now, speaking of which, I did do a Hatterene sweep when Sword and Shield first came out as soon as I seen Magic Powder, so I thought it was really cool. You could add that Psychic type, right, and then you could have like a super effective, like a Dark move or a Ghost type move. Well, that was a really neat sort of moves there. I really hope we get some more of these moves in the future, like the type changing moves, especially with, the new mechanics coming up. I was thinking about some cool shenanigans I could do there with different types of things like that. All right, we got a Dynamax Hatterene here. And this is going to be very, very bulky. It doesn't seem to be doing like lots and lots of damage to Shiinotic anyway. Now, I thought I'd explain here as well what's sort of left of Sword and Shield. So we're like 3 weeks out. Virtually, you want to say we're pretty much 3 weeks out here into Scarlet and Violet, right? So I've got 3 weeks worth more of videos and teams and stuff like that. And, that'll be it for Sword and Shield. We'll be moving permanently onto Scarlet and Violet there, which is going to be pretty interesting because, Sword and Shield's been a very, it's been a long time. It's been like 3 years. And the thing is, I wasn't really able to do too much Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl either because of, how long it took to prepare teams in there, and it's just like an inferior sort of battle experience. So it's going to be very, very nice going on to a new generation with, lots of new Pokemon and, fresh stuff like that. But I will be doing like a send-off stream for Sword and Shield, but in like two-ish weeks, something like that. But I'll announce that and stuff on the channel. Anyway, back to this matchup with the Hatterene and the Shiinotic here. The Shiinotic was actually beating the Hatterene here, just virtually just the pure sustain that it had there with the Rain and the Giga Drain, which was really quite nice there as well. I think this is the last turn of Hatterene's Dynamax as well. Almost said G-Max there. It's just normal Hatterene. So now what I can do is I can go for Giga Drain. I've still got 8 of them left, and I've still got the Rain Dance going too. With the Damp Rock as the item too, that allowed it to go for 8 turns. So that was very, very handy. So it was like 8 turns of healing there too. As you can see. So going for Giga Drain here on Hatterene. It's going to be very, very close. I think I need like 2 more to take this out. It's, very, very close amount of damage that I'm going to be able to have to heal that off. So I've got the Rain Dish and Giga Drain at the same time. So, the Giga Drain. Now Hatterene, the only thing I was worried about here, if I did get flinched, that was another thing too, or like paralyzed. So they're obviously running on like a flinching set. So here comes the Dank Pulse there, and on my Shiinotic, and I managed to get another Giga Drain off. I'm like, yes, this is going to be so close. So this is the deciding turn here between the Hatterene and the Shiinotic. Is Shiinotic going to live? If it does live, I win. If it doesn't live, I lose. So here we go. I'm paralyzed, so I'm going to be slower now. So I guess they're hoping for a paralysis or like a flinch. So here comes the Dank Pulse there. I lived on 2 health, ready for the Giga Drain, and I got paralyzed. Are you actually kidding me? So that is the end of the turn, and that is the end of the battle too. That bad luck there right at the end, and it's going to be a Nuzzle Disrespect KO too, which really rubbed some salt into the wound there. But very, very crazy battle there at the end, especially went right down to the wire, and a really cool sort of battle team now. Wonder if you guess what it is. There was lots of little clues. All right, second battle here. This one is against Lady Crimson or Cat, and we got a 4v6 here, which is interesting. Let me see if you can guess what this team is. First Pokemon is going to be Machamp, and I've got my Shiinotic here. Now the annoying thing, I gotta say this too, the annoying thing about Shiinotic's physical moves, it doesn't even get play roughs, so I couldn't choice band play rough, or at least that'd be okay, you know what I mean, but the only thing it has is Seed Bomb. So go for the Seed Bomb here on the Machamp. That does pretty good damage. It's about a 1 to 2 hit, two hit KO around there. We got a Mega Punch Machamp, but it clearly doesn't have No Guard, and it's got Blunder Policy, Mega Punch, which is pretty cool. So go for a second Seed Bomb on the Machamp. Machamp is just gonna live. That was very, very close. Damn. I can finish it on the next one here. Now the funny thing is, the Machamp's obviously gonna outspeed me. It connects to the Mega Punch, and it actually gets an effect spore and puts it to sleep. I could have used that like a while ago. I could have even gone on to one of my other Pokemon, swapped it in and gone for the Dream Eater. That would have been really cool. Anyway, so Machamp is gonna faint there to a pile of seeds, or big seeds. And our next Pokemon is gonna be the Haunter. So wow, this is sort of exactly like the start of the matchup there versus the Gorge. So just looking at my team right now, this really struggles against especially Poison and Ghost. It's terrible. Like, really the only move that can do anything is like Dream Eater, you know, and relying on Dream Eater is, well, it's not exactly the most reliable thing, right? So I've got Seed Bomb here to do as much damage as possible. I'm sort of resigned to the fact that this Shiinotic is going to have to feint against Haunter, you know, but as long as I get some damage right. Haunter's going to go for Hypnosis here, and I'm confused at the moment too, and Shiinotic, of course, is going to hit itself in confusion. So I was like, okay, whatever. At least I know the Haunter has Hypnosis. Maybe it'll miss on my next Pokemon. So here it comes there, and that is going to put the Shiinotic to sleep. You can hardly see its face now. I wonder if it's still smiling while it's asleep. Come on. I wonder if it is. I think that it might be. So speaking of the Dream Eater, the Haunter's got Dream Eater as well. So that's going to be enough to take out the Shiinotic and heal some damage that I dealt to the Haunter there. So I need to get rid of this Haunter. This is very, very important. So bye-bye, Shiinotic. I gotta say, I really have to say, I reckon Shiinotic would be in the top 10 most forgettable Pokemon. What do you think? I definitely think it is. I'm not saying it's bad or anything like that. I just think it's quite a forgettable Pokemon. So since Haunter was going to be putting him to sleep, I decided to put it to sleep with the Spore. Now, the first Pokemon here says move this Pokemon's going to use is a Confuse Ray against Shiinotic again, which is annoying. I get through that, however, and I'm going to put the Haunter to sleep. I like how when you use Spore, a mushroom comes out of a mushroom. It's like, it's interesting. So now what I can do is go for the Dream Eater on the Haunter, and that should... You know, that should be more than enough to take it out. However, the Haunter is going to be swapping out here, and we've got the... What is this? Kadabra coming out here. Dabrenza. I think that's what it is. Like Kadabra doing a dab with its spoon. So I'm going to swap this Shiinotic out there. I have to, I got to store that in the back for later on, and I'm going to go into more lull here. So interesting enough, the Kadabra actually sets up a Reflect. It's like, oh wow, a bulky Kadabra. And now it's going to go for Dig. So I'll give you, if you're wondering what this theme team might be, think about the nicknames and the moves that are being used. Cass used a couple of these teams. I think you used a couple of them last week too. So now I've got Moonblast to use here, I guess. That's my best move. Here comes a Dig, and that's not going to do a lot. You know, coming off Kadabra's thumping base attack, and, you know, the bulk of this more low, yeah, it's not really doing too much. So Moonblast does some excellent damage there, and now the Kadabra has also got Psychic too. Psychic does a lot more than Dig, granted, obviously, but I still take it, like, very, very well, and I'm going to finish off the Kadabra with another Moonblast. I don't know whether I would have lived 2 Psychics there. I possibly could have fainted to that. Next Pokemon is going to be the Rhydon. Rhydon these nuts. Before someone says it in the comment section, now you're not allowed to say it in the comment section after I've said it, right? I've already cracked that joke. So it's going to be a Horn Attack set, a Horn Attack Rhydon. Unfortunately, I've got Energy Ball, and poor old Rhydon is going to get one shot at there. Horn Attack Rhydon, that is rough. You know, that's rough. So the Reflect is gone there, which is going to change this entire battle. And next Pokemon is going to be, I thought that said Sniper, but it's never mind. It's like, what? So really, when you look at my team, all of them are physical, special attackers except for one. I was very close to not running a physical Shiinotic, but I sort of had to, you know. And the only item I could really put on there for do some damage was Choice Band. Now, this Persian is going to get hit pretty hard there by the Moonblast, and I can go for it like a second Moonblast there, which is pretty good. The Persian now is going to be a Dynamax Persian, so that is one big pussy, and we've got 3 Pokemon left here still, which is, you know, is quite good. I'm still saving that Shiinotic at the end, though, because I want to use, like, you know, Dream Eater eventually. Like, that, you know, that Haunter's still asleep, so I can easily, you know, do that too. So here we go here, people. We got the Dynamax Persian, and it's going to be going for a Max Strike on my little, my little Morlo. Almost said Shiinotic there. So that's the end of that. That's okay, though. I'm thinking, well, I could swap in my next one, and then I've got my final Shiinotic, which I can Dynamax too. So I could possibly tank the, you know, the Persian's moves there. So there's the first Max Strike there. Morlo takes that, you know, rather nicely considering, and this is the special defensive one. This is Max Health, Max Special Defense with Sassy Nature, and, you know, definitely is a bulky sort of set there. Now I'm going to go for a recovery move here with the Leech Seed, and I've got that Leech Seed happening there, and it's going to do just, you know, just a little bit of damage to Persian. That's the best I really could do in that situation. So I guess the best thing here, I stored out the Dynamax from the Persian, and now I've got my own Pokemon here that can Dynamax and do some pretty good damage. And it's got some pretty good bulk about it, Shiinotic too. So that's the end of our old Persian's Dynamax. Now there's the Sleeping Haunter, the Persian, and one other Pokemon. And I've got the option to Dynamax it. But I was like, no, I'm going to go for a Giga Drain. Hyper Beam was the move that the Persian used, and I actually missed there. That could have definitely done a lot of damage to me, but I would have healed a fair bit of back with the Giga Drain there. So I'm glad I didn't get hit by it, by the way. Last Pokemon to reveal is Pikachu. So Pikachu is, Pikachu's going to take like copious amounts of damage from like everything. Pikachu is going to go for a Thunder Wave here, paralyzing my Shiinotic. So some more scum tactics here. I managed to get through the paralysis and I went for the Spore. So I was like, oh, let's put the Pikachu to sleep. I want to finish off these last two Pokemon with Dream Eater. I thought it'd be quite funny. I mean, realistically, Giga Drain could take Pikachu out almost in one shot too. It's not like, it's not like it's a bulky Pokemon. Shiinotic is going to get paralyzed this turn, which sort of sucks. So I went for the Dream Eater here and hoping the Pikachu, should take some really good damage from this. So here it comes. Dream Eater almost takes Pikachu out. Pretty dang good damage there. Not that Pikachu is very bulky. So Pikachu's going to wake up and use Swift. So I was like, a Swiftachu. That's a rough set there. Thunder Wave and Swift. So going for another, go for a Giga Drain there and taking the Pikachu out. All that's left now is the Haunter. Now, Haunter, I mean, if it does wake up, this could be a problem. I was like, no, just in case it's like something really goes wrong here, I'm going to Dynamax Shiinotic and then I can go for the Max Mindstorm. And that will be more than enough to take out the Haunter here. Now, Haunter doesn't have, I don't think the Haunter's got any poison type moves, so, at all, so, or maybe like really, really weak ones, judging off what this team, actually is. So Haunter is going to be snoozing this turn, and I can go for the Max Mindstorm on the Haunter, and that should, be more than enough to take it out there in one shot. And that is the end of the Morelull Evolution team, a very unique, sort of forgettable Pokemon. But as you know, on Pimknight's channel, we like to cover every sort of Pokemon and every strategy and, everything. We don't like to miss anything out. Hope you enjoyed the battles, people. I'll be back tomorrow for another video. Peace.